The Desperate Alliance. The Grand Conclave Chamber of the Galactic Confederation fell silent as High Arbiter Vexen entered. The towering insectoid's normally pristine carapace was cracked in places, a testament to the desperate battles fought and lost over the past lunar cycle. Representatives from 17 advanced civilizations watched in grim silence as holographic displays activated, showing the remains of what had once been the thriving Zukari homeworld. The Devourer has claimed another system, Vexen announced, mandibles clicking in distress. 8 billion souls, gone. The chamber erupted in panicked chatter. The Devourer, a cosmic anomaly that had appeared from the outer rim 6 galactic cycles ago, had already consumed 11 worlds. It moved through space like a sentient storm of dark energy, impervious to weapons, shields, or diplomatic overtures. It simply consumed everything in its path with methodical, terrifying efficiency. The Zukari defense grid was our strongest line, continued Vexen. Their quantum barriers were supposed to be impenetrable. We have exhausted all conventional options. Elder Thrix, the ancient representative of the Myraxian collective, rose on her hovering platform. Her translucent skin pulsed with bioluminescent patterns that signaled deep concern. Perhaps, she said, her melodious voice silencing the chamber, it is time we consider the unconventional. What do you suggest, Elder? Asked Vexen. The archives speak of another species, Thrix replied. One whose existence we have tried to forget. One whose very name we have avoided speaking for nearly 5 centuries. Vexen's compound eyes widened. You cannot be suggesting humans, Thrix said simply. The word hung in the air like a curse. The humans had been a problem that the Confederation had solved through overwhelming force centuries ago. Their homeworld had been isolated behind an impenetrable quantum barrier, their colonies abandoned, their ships destroyed. A savage, unpredictable species removed from galactic affairs for the greater harmony. The humans were contained, protested Ambassador Zorix of the Centaurian Dominion, his crystalline form refracting light nervously. Were they truly? Challenged Thrix. The archives suggest otherwise. There were survivors who fled beyond our jurisdiction, to the uncharted regions. Even if they exist, Vexen said, what use would primitive savages be against the Devourer? When we intervened, they had barely mastered interstellar travel. Thrix's ancient eyes narrowed. They were more than that. Arbiter. The Confederation feared them not for their technology, but for what they were. In all our recorded history, no species has possessed the human's capacity for adaptation, for survival against impossible odds, for warfare. They were dangerous, hissed Zorix. They were survivors, corrected Thrix. And survival is precisely what we now desperately need. After 3 days of heated debate, desperation won out over ancient prejudice. A mission was authorized to locate any surviving human enclaves and seek their assistance against the Devourer. Commander Lyra, a young but brilliant Araxian tactician, was selected to lead the expedition. For weeks, Lyra's stealth vessel, the Whispered Hope, searched the uncharted regions beyond the outer spiral arm, following fragmented data from the archives. Just as supplies were running low, they detected an anomalous energy signature from a seemingly desolate planet orbiting a red dwarf star. As they approached, primitive but effective defense platforms activated. Before Lyra could react, her ship's systems went dark, caught in some kind of electromagnetic disruption field. They drifted helplessly as a battered vessel approached, its design unlike anything in Confederation records. We're being hailed, reported Navigator Trell, surprise evident in her voice. In ancient galactic standard. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a face that sent a collective shudder through the bridge crew. 2 eyes. Not compound or multifaceted but simple binocular ones. No scales, no carapace, no tentacles. Just bare skin with a growth of facial hair. A human. You're a long way from Confederation space, said the human, its mouth forming unfamiliar patterns around the words. State your business or be atomized. Commander Lyra stepped forward, forcing herself to meet the human's gaze. "I am Commander Lyra of the Galactic Confederation. We come seeking aid against an enemy that threatens all life in the galaxy." The human's mouth curled into what the archives identified as a smile, an expression that could denote either friendliness or predatory intent. In this case, it seemed to be the latter. "The mighty Confederation asking for our help." The human laughed, a harsh sound. "That's rich. You'll forgive us if we're not exactly rushing to your rescue. Last I checked, your kind was busy trying to exterminate us." "That was 5 centuries ago," Lyra said carefully. "A different time, a different confederation." "Tell that to the dead of New Terra," the human replied coldly. "Or Proxima Colony." Lyra lowered her head. "We cannot change the past, but there will be no future for any of us if this threat is not stopped." The human considered this, its strange face unreadable to Lyra's alien perception. "I'll bring this to the Council of Captains. No promises. In the meantime, you'll remain exactly where you are. Any attempt to reactivate your vessel will be considered hostile." For 3 days, they drifted, their fate in the hands of creatures long dismissed as savages. On the 4th day, a different vessel approached, larger, more sophisticated than the patrol craft. They were boarded by 6 humans, each wearing utilitarian environment suits and carrying primitive but deadly-looking projectile weapons. Their leader removed her helmet, revealing a face with features different from the first human they'd encountered. Darker skin, differently shaped eyes, but unmistakably of the same species. "I'm Admiral Sophia Rise of the United Human Systems," she announced. "I've been authorized to hear your plea directly. Make it count, alien." Commander Lyra activated a holographic display, showing the Devourer's destruction across the galaxy. Admiral Rise watched impassively as world after world was consumed, billions of lives extinguished. "Our best defenses have failed," Lyra concluded. "Our most powerful weapons barely slow it. We need something different, something the Devourer hasn't encountered before." "And you think that's us?" Rise asked, eyebrow raised. "What exactly do you expect humans to do against something your advanced civilizations couldn't handle?" Elder Thrix, who had accompanied the mission, stepped forward. "Historical records indicate that humans possessed unique qualities, an adaptability, a relentlessness when threatened, and most importantly, an unpredictability that no logical entity could fully anticipate." Rise laughed bitterly. "So that's it. You want to unleash the monsters again, point the savage humans at your problem, and hope for the best." "We want to survive," Lyra said simply, "and we believe you can help us do that." Reyes's eyes narrowed. "And what do we get out of this arrangement, assuming we agree?" "A return to the galactic community," offered Lyra. "Recognition of your sovereignty, reparations for past wrongs." "Pretty words," Rise replied, "but I notice you're only offering them when you need something from us." Thrix stepped forward, her ancient form trembling slightly. "There is another consideration, Admiral. The Devourer consumes all in its path. It does not discriminate. Eventually, it will find its way here, to your hidden refuge. Your people will die just as surely as ours." This gave Rise pause. She studied the holograms again, watching the inexorable advance of destruction. "I'll need to discuss this with the full council," she finally said. "But I'll tell you this much. If we agree to help, it won't be on your terms. It will be on ours. And you may not like what you unleash." 2 weeks later, a fleet of 50 human vessels, a motley collection of retrofitted ships that ranged from mining platforms to crude but effective warships, entered Confederation space. Their arrival sent shockwaves through the remaining civilizations. The humans, long believed contained, had returned. The human delegation, led by Admiral Rise and 6 other members of their council, met with the Confederation conclave. Their terms were clear. They would fight the Devourer, but in return, they demanded full sovereignty, recognition of their right to reestablish colonies, and seats on the Confederation Council itself. "You're in no position to make such demands," objected Ambassador Zorix. Commander Marcus Chen, One of the human delegation stepped forward. Actually, we are. You need us more than we need you. The way we see it, we have three options: help you and secure our future, return to our hidden systems, and take our chances, or, he smiled coldly, use this opportunity to settle some very old scores. The implications hung in the air. After tense negotiations, the Confederation reluctantly agreed to the humans' terms. The fate of the galaxy now rested in the hands of a species they had once tried to eradicate. As the human fleet prepared to confront the devourer at the edge of the Orion cluster, Admiral Reyes gathered her captains. Among them was Dr. Ileana Kazan, Earth's foremost expert on exotic physics, whose theories about the devourer had been dismissed by many of her own people as too radical. The devourer isn't just consuming matter and energy, Kazan explained, her dark eyes intense. It's consuming information, the very patterns that make up reality. That's why conventional weapons fail. They're just more information for it to absorb. Then what can hurt it? Asked Captain Rodriguez. Kazan smiled. Chaos. Unpredictability. The one thing we humans excel at. As the combined fleet approached the devourer, a swirling mass of darkness that seemed to bend light and reality around it, humanity prepared to unleash its final desperate gambit against the cosmic horror that threatened all existence. The final stand. The swirling darkness of the devourer loomed ahead, a cosmic maw consuming stars and planets with terrifying efficiency. From the bridge of the Defiance, Admiral Sophia Rice studied the tactical displays with narrowed eyes. The combined fleet, 50 human vessels and 70 Confederation ships, seemed insignificant against the vastness of the cosmic entity. All ships reporting ready, Admiral, announced Commander Chen, his usually stoic face betraying a hint of tension. And our special preparations? Rice asked. Dr. Kazan confirms all systems are operational. The Confederation engineers still don't understand what we're doing, but they've provided the materials we requested. Rice nodded. They don't need to understand. They just need to follow the plan exactly as we laid it out. The plan had been met with skepticism when Dr. Ileana Kazan first proposed it. The Confederation scientists, with their logical, ordered approach to physics, had called it madness and scientific heresy. But that was precisely the point. The devourer operates on predictable patterns. Kazan had explained to the Joint War Council. It consumes information and energy in a specific sequence. But humans, we're inherently chaotic. Our neural patterns, our decision-making, our very creativity defies algorithmic prediction. That's what makes us dangerous. That's what makes us useful. Now, as the fleet approached the engagement zone, Kazan's theory would be put to the ultimate test. Open channel to all ships, Rice ordered. When Communications Officer Patel nodded, she continued, "This is Admiral Rice. You all know what we're facing. You know the stakes. Every inhabited world in this galaxy is counting on us today, human and alien alike. The Confederation tried logic against this thing. They tried force. They tried diplomacy. None of it worked. Today, we try something else. We try humanity." She paused, letting her words sink in. We are unpredictable. We are adaptive. We are relentless. These qualities made the galaxy fear us once. Today, they'll make the galaxy thank us. Execute Operation Chaos. Rise out. The human fleet suddenly broke formation, each vessel executing seemingly random maneuvers that defied tactical logic. The Confederation ships, following their instructions with reluctant precision, maintained their orderly approach. The devourer is responding, reported Tactical Officer Nakamura. It's redirecting its energy tendrils toward the Confederation formation, just as Dr. Kazan predicted. The cosmic entity extended writhing tentacles of dark energy toward the orderly Confederation fleet, beginning its familiar consumption pattern. But as it did, the human vessels initiated the second phase of their plan. Each human ship activated a unique device designed by Dr. Kazan, the Chaos Engine. These machines generated quantum fluctuations that were specifically unpatterned, truly random in a way that defied prediction even by their creators. As 50 Chaos Engines activated simultaneously, reality itself seemed to shudder around the fleet. Energy readings from the Devourer are fluctuating, reported Nakamura, excitement creeping into her voice. It's slowing its advance. On the main view screen, the Devourer's smooth consumption pattern visibly faltered. The dark energy tendrils whipped erratically, as if confused. Phase 3, ordered Reyes. All ships, execute random jump sequence. The human vessels began jumping in and out of hyperspace at unpredictable intervals, appearing and disappearing around the Devourer in a chaotic dance. Each jump created a ripple in space-time, each ripple intersecting with others to create a turbulent reality storm around the cosmic entity. The Confederation ships are taking heavy losses, reported Chen grimly. The Devourer is concentrating its attacks on them. Reyes nodded, her face grim. We knew there would be sacrifices. They're doing their part, being predictable, being the perfect target. As the orderly Confederation ships drew the Devourer's attention, the human vessels implemented the final phase of their desperate plan. Each ship launched specially designed probes directly into the Devourer's mass. These weren't weapons in the conventional sense. They were carriers, each containing a unique payload: human art, music, literature, philosophy, the most chaotic, unpredictable creations of the human mind. The probes are penetrating the Devourer's outer layer, reported Nakamura. Detonation in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The probes didn't explode with energy. They exploded with information, with chaos, with humanity. Shakespeare's sonnets, jazz improvisations, abstract expressionist paintings, quantum mechanics theories, paradoxical philosophical arguments, all flooding into the Devourer's information processing core simultaneously. The effect was immediate and dramatic. The cosmic entity's surface began to convulse, its dark energy tendrils withdrawing and lashing out randomly. The very fabric of the Devourer seemed to be unraveling from within as it tried to process the unpredictable, contradictory, beautiful chaos that defined humanity. "It's working," exclaimed Kazan, who had joined Reyes on the bridge. "The information overload is disrupting its consumption patterns." But their victory was precarious. The Devourer, though wounded, was adapting. Its swirling mass began to stabilize, tendrils reorganizing into new patterns. "It's learning," Kazan said, her voice falling. "It's incorporating our chaos into its model." Reyes's jaw tightened. "Then we give it more, something it can't possibly assimilate." She opened the fleet-wide channel again. "All ships, this is Admiral Reyes. Deploy the Pandora protocols. Authorization Omega 73. Throughout the human fleet, crews engaged their final contingency, a desperate measure they had hoped to avoid. Each ship's AI began generating completely new art, music, literature, and scientific theories in real time, using algorithms specifically designed to be unpredictable even to their creators. This wasn't human chaos filtered through machines. It was machines creating in ways that even humans couldn't anticipate. As this new flood of utterly unpredictable information poured into the Devourer, something unprecedented happened. The cosmic entity began to fragment, rifts opening across its dark surface. Light, actual light, began to shine from within its mass for the first time. "The Confederation sensors are picking up something incredible," reported Chen. "The Devourer isn't just being destroyed, it's being transformed." On the view screen, the Devourer's dark mass was indeed changing. The swirling vortex of cosmic destruction was breaking apart, but not dissipating. Instead, it was reconfiguring, restructuring itself into something new, something never before seen. "It's creating," whispered Kazan in awe. "Our chaos didn't destroy it. It taught it a new way to exist. Where the Devourer had been, a new cosmic phenomenon, took shape, a swirling nebula of energy that radiated light instead of consuming it, that created patterns of stunning beauty rather than destroying them. As the human and remaining Confederation ships regrouped, the newly transformed entity sent a transmission, not in words or conventional signals, but in patterns that the ship's computers somehow translated into meaning. Understanding HFY, consumption unnecessary, creation superior. In the aftermath, as the combined fleet returned to Confederation space, the galaxy faced a new reality. The devourer was gone, transformed by its encounter with humanity's chaotic creativity into something benign, perhaps even beneficial. The cost had been high, 23 human ships and 42 Confederation vessels lost, but the galaxy had been saved. In the Grand Conclave Chamber, Admiral Rice stood before the assembled representatives of the Galactic Confederation. No longer a supplicant, she addressed them as an equal. "Today marks a new beginning," she declared. "Humanity has earned its place among the stars, not through conquest or domination, but by offering what only we could: our unpredictability, our creativity, our beautiful chaos." High Arbiter Vexen stepped forward. "The Confederation acknowledges its debt to humanity. All agreements will be honored. Your sovereignty is recognized. Your colonies may be reestablished. And 5 seats on the conclave are hereby granted to the United Human Systems." Elder Thrix, who had advocated for seeking humanity's help from the beginning, smiled her alien smile. "Perhaps now we can all learn from each other. Perhaps what we once feared in humanity is precisely what the galaxy needed, and will need again." As human ships began the journey to rediscover their ancient colonies, as diplomatic exchanges flourished between species that had once been bitter enemies, a new understanding spread throughout the galaxy. In a universe of order and patterns, sometimes chaos was the answer. Sometimes, when all hope was lost, the most dangerous weapon was not the most powerful, but the most unpredictable. And humanity, with its beautiful, terrible, wonderful unpredictability, had found its place among the stars at last.